Have you ever seen a movie with a concept so fascinating and intriguing? A concept that, if executed properly, would get you so invested and make you begin to question reality as you know it? Some fumble a little, leaving you wishing they had done just a little bit better. However, there are those movies with fascinating concepts that completely flop and leave you almost angry they messed it up. When telling my friends about movies, I always bring the concept up before describing how I felt about the movie itself. Maybe that's just the aspiring filmmaker in me, but I like to explore the avenue of the concept. My name is Christopher Combs with Everything Donut, and this is going to be the start of a series I'd like to call Good in Concept, where I go over concepts in films that I found fascinating. When I refer to concepts for movies, I think of an elevator pitch. An elevator pitch is what film writers practice when trying to pitch the idea of their film. Often using another film as comparison, you want to be able to describe the who, what, when, where, and why of your film with as few words as possible. This should fully encapsulate the concept of the film and give your producer or investor a good idea of what they will be putting their money into. Imagine having a screenplay and you're looking for investors to help bring your screenplay to life. Now let's say you step into an elevator with someone who might be a potential investor. You now have from the floor you entered to the floor they exit to pitch your idea. Not a lot of time, so you need to learn how to get your point across fast and concise. Today, I will be talking about a concept from a film that I found fascinating, or an elevator pitch. Now, I can't lie, this first movie concept may not be as fascinating to everyone as I found it fascinating, but I still think it's worth a shot, and I hope it hits that small little group of people. A group of academic colleagues meet up for one last hurrah with a professor who decides to quit his job and move out of nowhere. On the way up to their cabin, where John Oldman is packing up his life, one of the colleagues sees a painting leaned up against his car, and they state, "Wow, looks like a genuine Van Gogh." John replies by saying he got it from a friend, quote unquote, and they all move inside. Everyone interrogates John on why he decided to uproot his life so suddenly. John, weighing out his options, decides to tell his friends the truth, and that is that he's over 14,000 years old. He is what we would refer to him as a Cro-Magnon. For those of you who don't know what a Cro-Magnon is, it's an early subspecies of Homo sapiens. Of course, no one believes him, and there's some serious question about his mental health. They call a psychiatrist to come in and ask him some questions, gauge his mental health. There is some conflict where John persists and tells them stories of his past, like sailing the ocean blue with Columbus, a painting he got from his old friend, Van Gogh, and about this time he taught lessons up on a hill to his loyal disciples. Yeah, that's right, John Oldman is claiming to be Jesus. This obviously upsets a highly religious person in the group and causes some conflict there as well. But in the end, John realizes the toll that his story is taking on everyone, and he ends up telling them it was all just a lie. Everyone throws a fit, understandably, and some are more upset than others. More of the academic minds were more upset that they just didn't get to talk to an actual Cro-Magnon, because that would be insane. However, the movie does end somewhat precariously, never confirming for sure if John really was 14,000-year-old man from Earth. The name of this movie, if you guessed it, was The Man from Earth. Released in 2007, directed by Robert Schenkman, it is rated 7.8 out of 10 on IMDb. Pretty much this entire film takes place in the cabin that John Oldman lived in. That's right, an entire film of just dialogue in one room full of people listening to this man talk about the past. Things that were all common knowledge too, especially to someone who is a professor at a college with friends who teach in archaeology, biology, history, art history, anthropology. However, his story still grips them, holds them down, and keeps them listening. No matter how much they try to disprove him, they tell him he is unwell, they sit. For an entire afternoon, they sit and they listen. When he tells them that he was lying in the end, some people cry, some of them yelled, but you can tell ultimately they were all just disappointed they didn't get to talk to someone with this first-hand knowledge. Now, I found this story's concept fascinating, and they pulled it off okay. It works, and it does challenge your beliefs, if you have any. It will make you question some things and wish you could speak to someone with that kind of first-hand knowledge. However, If they were to just simply accompany these stories with some visuals, or maybe even add stories that aren't common knowledge, and maybe even make up some stories, it would have made the movie just a little more appealing. Overall, I recommend this film, especially to any inquisitive minds. Now, this film does have a sequel. It's called The Man from Earth Holocene. I do not recommend this film. If you enjoyed the first one, it kind of ruins it. Overall, I would rate the concept of the film 9 out of 10. It was incredibly fascinating and fun to think about. The movie itself, however, I would rate a 7 out of 10 because it does begin to bore you after a while. Having an entire movie full of just exposition is definitely bold, and in this case, I don't think it really worked out. This film isn't very well known, and it's kind of on the back burner, like, oh yeah, I remember that film type of film. Well, that was my elevator pitch for The Man from Earth. Not quite sure how well I did. If you liked it, let me know in the comments. If I convinced you to go watch the movie, please go watch and come back and tell me what you thought of the movie. And if you've already seen the movie, let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys for watching and have a good day.